Venerable Stadium is the site of the second game of this US College Series. Good evening and welcome to the E.G. Whitlam Centre in Liverpool for this exhibition game between the Sydney Kings Invitational team and American University, live on the Sydney Kings Facebook page and on YouTube via the Australian Sports Network in association with Live Sport Australia. I'm your host, Matt McQuaid, and I'm joined tonight by the man who is a player for the Sydney Kings, a former captain for the Sydney Kings, an assistant coach with the Sydney Kings, who won 2 championships with the great Brian Goorjian, outstanding analyst with Fox Sports and NBL TV, the one and only Brad Lightning Rosen. You like that?
Thank you, mate. That was great. No, I'm really looking forward to tonight. We got a taste of it last week with a very good travelling team in Oklahoma, and who obviously pipped the Kings at the end. But the one that Isaac Humphries was great last week. I was really looking forward. Started a little bit raw, would probably be the right words, and probably nervous, but really played a great second half, and probably look for him to establish himself tonight as well.
It was such a tough game against Oklahoma University with their superstar Trey Young, who impressed everybody here in this country and I know overseas as well. But from the Kings' perspective, what did you actually take out of that game for this Kings Invitational team?
Well, I think, Coach, Drewy will be looking at number one, they've lost a lot of players to overseas. So you got your 2, potentially 3 imports that did not play. You then got the 3 boomers in Brad Newley, Jason Cadee, and of course the new recruit Blanchfield, who's coming from Melbourne, originally from Townsville. So you take those 6 players, or definitely 5, potentially 6 if they go for the 3 points. So Andrew's not going to be looking at much in the sense of what they do. He's going to be looking at what the players give. You look at Isaac Humphries, he got the ball down low, he established himself, made good looks, made good position down there. I thought Thosby, I hope I'm saying that correctly.
You are.
He was great, and he's just been announced this week that he's signed for the Sydney Kings. So he really impressed me the way he got. I thought Brad Pinot played his minutes really well. A little bit limited, which was probably foul count. And I thought Tommy Garlett was great, as he usually is. Steps up and does his veteran now. You can call him in that status. So I think that Drewy will look along that and think, I got what I needed out of the 4 Kings players, and I'm happy with that. There's a lot more to come, obviously, from the rest of them.
We're just going to pause right now for the national anthems of the United States of America and Australia. Firstly, it'll be the US national anthem. Now for the Australian national anthem. Great crowd here in attendance, appreciating both the Australian and American national anthems as both teams exchange gifts at the halfway line. And Brad, we've talked about how good Oklahoma was on Thursday night. Let's have a talk about the American Eagles. So they come in off a very tough season in 2016-2017. They finished 8-22 overall in the NCAA's, 5-13 in conference play. They play in the Patriot League. It's a mid-major conference. They're very young. They feature many, many newcomers, 11 newcomers in total, which is incredible. Not one senior in the team. They're not quite at Oklahoma's level. I think it's fair to say that. What are you expecting from American tonight?
Yeah, definitely not the Oklahoma level. You're 100% right with that one. They've got some great players, and I think we're going to see that talent on the court tonight. But Oklahoma was another level, and the great players went very deep for Oklahoma. They went down their bench, and they were still good. The Trae Young, well, he's just a superstar, and he is NBA bound. There's no question of that. But tonight we're looking at a different calibre. Now, this team travelled to Cairns and they lost to Cairns the other night, but they put up a good show. And I'm looking forward to seeing, there's two guys I really want to see how they go. One is Saeed Nelson. This kid is a dynamite. He looks like he's about 6'1", but he looks about 5'8". I think that Pacific shrinkage has come over from overseas. If he's 6'1", I could have played at 6'4". But anyway, so he's 6'1", supposedly, but you look at him, and I'm watching him as we say this now, he's very strong. You can see his legs, his hips and his body. So he's going to be low to the ground and be very solid on that. He's one guy I'm looking at, and Mark Gasparini is the other one.
I was just going to say, incredible stat. As a freshman, this kid came in and played the third most minutes by any player in the NCAA. He played 40 minutes a game. I think it was 18 times, which is just extraordinary. So
1,135 minutes in a season. I think that's my career.
Like, just about is, isn't it?
That's just unbelievable. So that tells me two things. One, he's got great motor. If he's playing for close to 40 minutes a game, like you said, he's got a great motor. So he'll be definitely one to watch out for tonight.
For those of you watching in Sydney or even New South Wales, Sydney season tickets for the Sydney Kings 2017-2018 National Basketball League season are on sale now. The Sydney Kings are leading the basketball revolution. Memberships are on sale and start from $84. It all kicks off October the 7th at Kudos Bank Arena, so go to sydneykings.com to join. It's the revolution you will want to be a part of.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple of the owners, the management of the Kings, and they're saying membership's up from last year, so get on that and get on it quick. Atmosphere is going to be great.
Now let's start with the lineups. First of all, for American University, Saeed Nelson at the guard spot, 6'1" guard out of Pleasantville, New Jersey. He's their star. Jesse Little, a 6'10" forward from Starkville, Mississippi. Stacey Beckton Jr. is a 6'5" freshman from Daytona Beach in Florida. James Washington, a 6'1" junior from Norwalk in California. Max Hoekstra, a 6'5" swingman out of Zwolle in the Netherlands. Marvin Bragg is a 6'7" guard from Cerritos, California. Justin Perez is a 6'1" sophomore out of Miami, Florida. Sam Iorio is a 6'6" freshman out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. Mark Gasparini, 6'10" sophomore from Moscow, Russia. Kevin Brown, a 5'8" guard out of West Orange, New Jersey. Nick Makarchuk, a 6'5" forward from Alamo, California. Drew Lamont is a 6'8" freshman out of Plantation, Florida. And Matt Simino is a 6'10" forward from Falmouth, Maine. Head coach of American is Mike Brennan in his 5th season, and now to Brad Rosen for the Sydney Kings.
Yeah, they will have the same team that they had last week. Lachlan Barker, he's from Adelaide, and he'll start in the guard spot. Sam Daly did a great job running the point last week, and they'll look to keep him. He's a development player for the Sydney King. John Cruz, he'll play limited minutes. Isaac Humphries was the big man. He did a great job. Jaden Weldon came on and finished with minutes last week, and I thought he was good. Veteran tonight, Tommy Garlip, always plays solid minutes. Darcy Malone, you will see him tonight. Dane Pinot, I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Hopefully he can play some more minutes and not get in the foul trouble. Adam Thosby, look for him to light it up from the outside. Left-hander, has a green light, and I know Copeland loves him and he wants him to shoot the threes. Den Akuth, well, what about this guy last week? Hit about 15 threes by the time the game was over. He was great, and they rounded out with Christian Jelena. Obviously, the head coach, Mr. Basketball himself, Andrew Dewey Gaze, and the assistant coaches, Leonard Copeland, Luke Kendall, and of course the manager, Laurie Loza Watterson.
The icon, you can see on your screen there the starters, Nelson and Washington in the backcourt. Iorio at the 3 spot. Gasparini and Simino form a very big line, both at 6'10".
All right, Matty, where's that chat? Look, we'll start with the starters here. We've got Daly. He'll start with Cruz in the backcourt. As I said, Isaac Humphries, good move by starting Tommy Gullett, and Thosby. Watch him to light it up from the outside. Where's your shout-out, Matty? Where's Mrs. McQuaid tonight, mate?
Mrs. McQuaid is still in Tokyo, would you believe?
Hello, Mrs. McQuaid.
She's back. Rachel Coxon, my beautiful girl, so she'll be watching. She's in Tokyo, Japan.
And I know we're being listened to in London tonight. I've got my mum over there who went to my cousin's wedding. Congratulations to Fran and her husband on getting done there, Zeke, so well done.
And while we're at it, a former NBL Coach of the Year, I know, is watching, the one and only Sean Dennis, the great man, with his lovely wife, Lani.
How he is not a coach, that's a travesty that he is not coaching in the NBL. What a great coach he is, was, and will ever be.
Absolutely. So, Sean, I know you're watching, mate. I hope you enjoy the coverage. And to all of you watching in Washington, D.C., the great city of Washington, D.C., all you Eagle fans looking for an opportunity to see your team for the first time tonight. Kings are in their famous purple and gold, American red, white and blue.
Yeah, interesting colours already. The blue and the purple it's quite different when you're on court, but as you're running at 100 miles an hour on the court, it does make it a bit harder. Usually it's a light and dark colour, but two dark colours in this instance.
We're underway here from the E.G. Whitlam Centre in Liverpool. Matt McQuaid Rosen with you on the Sydney Kings Facebook page and the ASN YouTube channel. Straight away, down low, Pinot with a left hand and air ball. Similar start to last game against Oklahoma, Brad.
Yeah, well, I don't mind that. It's a nice move. They ran a good set, and look at this quick dribbling here. That's exactly what he can do. But I don't mind that set. Dane just needs to take his time. That's a little bit nervous, but they got a good look and a good set, and there's another nervousness one that you start saying as well.
Turnover as Thosby fumbles it away. Eagles basketball. And one thing Andrew Gaze was very disappointed about in the Oklahoma game, they were absolutely smashed on the boards by the Sooners.
Yeah.
And their defensive transition was very poor. So it's stuff, they've certainly identified those two things and they're working on them tonight. Gasparini, mobile at 6'10". Good D by Humphries. He has to kick it out. Simino. Gasparini has to fire it up, in and out. And here comes John Cruz for the Sydney Kings Invitational team. Cruz on the dribble drive. Throws it up and in.
Good defense, just better offense. Nice drive to the middle, got cut off, but he just finished it nice. Great move by John Cruz.
Sam Daly had 8 assists against Oklahoma. He's going to be a development player guarding Nelson. Gasparini looking for Washington, can't find him. Iorio, Washington. 2 on the shot clock, 1 left-hand shot, no good. Rebound Humphries, and he's fouled. You can call that foul.
Well, right now, both teams, I'm happy offensively if I'm the coaches. They're getting good looks. That was a little bit the first shot, I think, by Gasparini. Probably should have taken the first one rather than kicking out, but he got a good look. They've had up fakes, good looks, cross picks, everything's going on ball screens. They just need to settle down and put the ball in the hoop like that one.
Excellent feed inside from Cruz to Pinot, and it's 4-0.
So you look at what they're going to do here, and what I do like Sam Daly, he'll push the ball, he's up on the court, but what he has to be careful of is exactly what happened there, and that's getting beaten, but great work by John Cruz to switch that to make sure he can't get penetration.
Gasparini looking for a handoff. Here's Iorio, fires, and they're going to call Thosby for a foul there. Got a piece of the arm, and Sam Iorio is going to shoot 2. One of the many, many freshmen on this American Eagles roster.
You look at him come off that screen, and that shot reminds me very much of Drimic in Adelaide. Just the way he's just got that nice little up high arch, beautiful shot above his head, almost unblockable when you shoot it like that.
I was just thinking that when you said Drimic, believe it or not, and showing my age, my first thought was Frank Drimic. What's he talking about, Frank Drimic?
Yeah.
Anthony Drimic, of course.
Anthony, yes.
That's definitely showing my age. Iorio makes the first. And rattles home the second.
You look all right for 65, Matt. I think you're doing well.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thosby. Humphries looking to go to work. Right hand in the lane. A sweeping hook shot from the man out of the University of Kentucky.
Well, you just see the difference. Last week when he did that, he jabbed at the ball. He was nervous. Tonight, he's just confident already off that first one.
Nelson,
Great
nice
pass.
pass inside to Iorio, and what a find by Saeed Nelson.
Well, great pass. I just want to talk about defensively here for American. If they don't sort that cross pick out, this is going to be a long night. The last 2 possessions, they've had a cross pick, and what American are doing is they're trying to fight through it. They just need to switch that, because as they're fighting through it, it's allowing not only the screener, but also the guy that's getting screened wide open, and right now the Kings are picking them apart on that.
To the line, and Sam Iorio has all 4 of the American Eagles points. Kings by 2.
That's better defense. See how he's trying to front him now? That's what you want to do. Don't make it so easy for him.
Thoseby, they jump out on him. Isolated, attacks out the left hand. That's no good. And here comes Washington on the break. Washington loses it out of bounds. He had Nelson on his left, but just couldn't find him.
Well, I thought it was great defense. They obviously know Thoseby's a shooter, so they got out and made him drive. That's what you want to do to shooters. Make them drive, good defense, get the ball, but unfortunately turned it over down the other end.
Daly looking for Humphries, can't find him. Thoseby jacks it from 3, in and out. And it's all the Eagles on the boards with Simoneau. Washington. Cruz picking him up. Iorio looking down low. Gasparini. 8 on the shot clock. Nelson, he's got to go to work. Gets a pick. Has to kick it out. 3, 2, 1. And out of bounds. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Turnover. So for those of you in the States, it's a 24-second shot clock.
I was just about to say that, Matty. Can't you see the difference here between 45 seconds and 24? Obviously 21 seconds, but it just gives them so much more time. And the difference here in Australia is if you run a set like an on-ball or a cross pick, you got to have something come out of that. You can't bring it back out and run another set, and that's what they're used to. They've got to adjust.
Andrew not happy with the lack of movement off the ball in this set. Pinot. Daly. There's Humphries. Good seal. See you later.
And that's why he was angry. He was angry that the ball was going to places where it shouldn't be. He wants the sets run, and he wants them run right, and that's what they did here tonight. And that's what this team needs to do. They don't have the players like they're going to have during the season, so these guys need to run their sets.
Iorio with a deep triple that's no good. Daly on the glass. Daly looking to attack Nelson off the dribble. It's stripped. They're going to call that on Saeed Nelson from behind.
Yeah, that's a tough angle. And Saeed didn't look real happy with that as well, so it was a tough angle for the referee to call it, but it's been called baseline ball for the Sydney Kings now. You thought that was a foul, Matt?
I was going to ask you, as a player, you know, how many times do they call that reach in from behind foul?
Yeah, good point.
90%, 95% of the time?
Yeah.
8 on the shot clock. Daly. Nice feed inside, and Pinot finishes.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I just spoke a couple of minutes ago and said that they need to be doing a better job with the cross picks. Well, now they're starting to half and full front. Well, now the Kings are doing a great job, and what they're doing is attaching it to the high post and then throwing it over the top. It's great work.
Oh, it's a nice move by Nelson. He leaves it short, gets his own rebound, stays with it. Saeed Nelson with the field goal, and it's 10-6. Pinot, Cruz on the right side. Inside there, kicks it out. Cruz on the up fake, the dribble drive. Pinot quickly. Daly, and stepped out of bounds.
Well, that's fantastic defense. That is just great defense all round by American. They just pushed them out as some substitutions come in. Tommy Garlett was down to start, but they did make a change right at the last minute on us, and they did bring Brad Pinot in. Brad Pinot. I'm talking about his dad, aren't I? My God, how can I do that to him? Dane Pinot. And now Tommy Garlett steps in.
As does Christian Gelina, making his first appearance for the Kings Invitational team. Gasparini. What a great matchup with Humphries. Gasparini off the window, no good. Gets his own rebound and puts it back in. And Brad, the offensive rebounding, that was a massive issue for the Kings against Oklahoma.
Big key, but right there you can see a smart basketballer. He knew that he hasn't got the 45-second shot clock now, so he made a strong move and good defense here as well.
Almost steals it. And they get it back. Humphries with a short glance and air ball. Nelson.
Look at the speed of this. Ooh,
explosive, but well stripped there by Jelena. Almost loses it. Here's Daly. Jelena up fake and he's fouled. So Christian Jelena will go to the line for 2.
Wasn't fantastic looking basketball, but they got what they needed in the end. Tom Daly. These brothers and dads and everything, they're so used to seeing these names. But Sam Daly, who did a great job last week, you've mentioned that a couple of times with his passing, just jumped in the air a little bit and looked like he had nowhere to go, but he got the ball, and obviously they were able to get to the line, and Christian Jelena goes to the line for 2, and a good up fake there that got American in the line, and now they go for 2.
And makes them both to give the Sydney Kings Invitational team a 4-point lead. Substitutions, Max Hoekstra making his first appearance into the game, and Drew Lamont steps in as well. Bit of heat up the floor this time, and they call it off. Hoekstra out of the Netherlands. Very high on him this year. And there's Lamont just jacking it. It's way short. Garlick will track that down, and stripped well by Gasparini. Nice give and go. Gasparini inside, and he's fouled by Jelena. And Mark Gasparini will go to the line for 2.
He's a tough cover down low. I mean, obviously, he's already shot I think this may be 5 and 6 free throws already for him. But he's just got some beautiful moves down there. Look at him. He's solid. He's, a good 6'10", 6'11". Can shoot the ball, as we can see there, and he's got nice moves down low.
Of course, the Eagles lost to the Cairns Taipans a couple of nights ago up at the Fishing in Cairns, 89-70. So Nelson had 25 in that game. And another shout out to the one and only coach Aaron Fern of the Cairns Taipans, who I know will be watching.
He won't have to scout this time, luckily. He can just
enjoy.
enjoy.
He can just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have a cold one and just chill out. Humphries. Garland. 11 on the shot clock. Daly. Good defense by the Eagles. Daly almost loses it. Here's Humphries going to work. Another sweeping hook in and out that time. Oh, tip in. Right, nearly. Daly gets it back somehow. And it resets to 14 seconds. Now Jelena fires, and that's way short. Rebound Hoekstra.
Well, it was a great job by Daly to get him a second effort. Unfortunately, the shot didn't go down. And now this man, well, you can just see if you're going to put your hands in there, they're going to call that one. But you can just see he's, like I was saying before, I don't see him being 6'1", but just by the way he dribbles the ball, it's very low to the ground. And because he's got such strong lower body presence and his legs are so strong, it just makes it so much easier for him. Look at that first step, and that's just huge.
Gets it inside to the big guy. It's blocked. Isaac Humphries gets a piece of the ball. And here's young Lachlan Barker into the game, looking to attack Nelson off the dribble. Again, good defensive recovery by the Eagles. Daly.
Great
no look pass. See you later. Big dunk by Isaac Humphries off the terrific feed from Sam Daly. Brad Rosen.
And that's the bit that you say. You look at Oklahoma last week, and you come to this team. When they start to make substitutions, the depth is not there, and that's what was different. That was just pretty poor defense, not reading. They got a double high there, the Sydney Kings, and all it was the easiest one in the book. You look at this, as Isaac Humphries sets the screen, he just rolls, and that's all he does. Number one play in the game. Great camera work, great replay to the team.
Shout out to the hardest working man in the business, James Bowman, sitting alongside us doing our production, as he does for all our games here on the Australian Sports Network. Does a phenomenal job as Becton makes the first. And one thing very impressive so far, Brad, has been the Eagles' D. Just the way they've moved their feet and
couldn't agree
recovered
more.
very, very well.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. They've all got this. Here's that double high pick. Now do they change this time? See, that's what happens. And now the other big shot down, and Tommy Garlip could have had a shot there.
Try to dump it inside, and well done by Gasparini, knocked it away. Fronted Humphries beautifully on that play. Now Becton on the pull-up is in and out. Rebound Daly ahead of the pack. He's got Barker. Barker on that hesitation dribble, and Jumps in the air, the Cardinal sin, and loses it. Nelson on the attack. Nelson goes to the rack, stripped beautifully. Gasparini inside, leaves it short again. And we've just got to lay it down.
Oh, yeah, they're just...
Lachlan Barker.
Yeah, holding his calves on the right there. So physios jump on, and we'll just talk a little bit about this now. The Sydney Kings obviously 14-11, and they've done a good job. And Lachlan Barker's going to limp off here, so it may have been a calf. We'll see if we can find out what's going on there. Physios will talk to him, but just getting back to American, they've done a great job. You know, they've missed some wide open shots, missed some layups, some things just haven't dropped, and they're only down by 3. Very positive start to their game.
And Jaden Weldon into the game now. There's a pull-up shot, goes down from Christian Jelena.
And this is where it's so hard for an Andrew Gaze. He sees the court, and he sees when we run our sets, we get great looks. We've had dunks, we've had layups as Isaac Humphries. Looks like he's going to go upstairs again for the jam. Isaac Humphries with the one-hander. Beautiful.
The hammer dunk from Humphries off the steal, and the Kings are out by 7. Becton. Lamont fires and hits. 3-point basket. Drew Lamont, and it's back to 4.
Well, you can just feel the pace pick up there. A little dunk, a 3. Here's this double high now, so we'll see how American answer that, and they don't answer it very well at all. Beautiful work by Sam Daly.
Super dribble drive by Sam Daly. Lays it up and in. And it's 20-14. Daly's first basket of the ball game. Becton. Pulls up from the foul line, is short with it. Offensive rebound. And that man again, Mark Gasparini.
Well, that's a coach killer. That's just lazy defense not to box him out.
Garlop with that super rip through. We see it so often, and he lays it up and in.
He's just made a career of that. Beautiful pull through.
Becton getting the pick. Goes to the rack, throws it up. No good. That time boxed out well by Jelena. Here's Jelena. Garlop. So coach is calling for one shot, and they're going to set it up. And Daly tells them to
Well, you just saw the fingers come up high. This will be the double high pick, and the side that he goes rolls to the basket.
And there it is. Daly fires away short. Garlop still with time. Jelena fires at the buzzer and hits! And they're waving it off. Yeah, it looked like it was just after the buzzer. And that's the end of the first period with your score. The Sydney Kings Invitational team 22, American University 16. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For the win, Kevin Lisch. That'll do it. The reigning MVP comes up huge.
Welcome back to the E.G. Whitlam Centre here in Liverpool. Once again, that score is the Sydney Kings 22, American University 16. Brad Rosen, take us through the quarter-time stats.
Yeah, 56% shooting from the Sydney Kings and only 22% from American. That's where the game is. But they've had good looks. I wouldn't look down at that thinking it's really poor. You look at the 21% from the 2-point lines. They've missed a couple of layups, a couple of gimmies and things like that. So all in all, I think that's fine. You all obviously want it better. But this team's been travelling. They've been to Cairns. There's a lot going. Sydney Kings will be happy with the rebound count, 14-9. The assists, the fouls, the turnovers. But look at that points in the paint. They have not been able to stop American. They just cannot stop the Sydney Kings, whether it's that cross pick or it's the double high pick where they roll. They have not been able to stop that at all. That's been dominating. That's what they'll be talking about in their timeout, American, on how to stop that.
Kings led by Isaac Humphries, who has 8 points and 3 boards. Mark Gasparini has 5 points and 3 rebounds. And offensively, I think American offensively have been pretty solid, Brad. It's just they've had some good looks, maybe forced up a couple of shots, but overall, they cannot be too upset about that first period.
I 100% agree, and you got to remember, this is such a challenge for these teams. We've already said it. They're travelling. They're in a different country. They've got different way the game's called, meaning the fouls. And the biggest aspect of it is 45-second shot clock down to 24. That is a massive change. We've said it a few times, but you could see how they adjusted.
It's actually, it's changed. It's down to 30 now in the NCAA. So it's 30. 45 was a little while ago now.
See,
so
I'm showing my age.
You
there.
are showing
You are
your
right.
age.
Thank you, Matt.
But it's a good
it's
point.
It's a massive point. It's still 6 seconds.
It's huge. I mean,
6 seconds in a basketball. And I apologise to our listeners. I am going back a number of years there when I say that. And I did know it was 30, but I said 45, so I apologise. But 6 seconds is an on-ball where you can easily get a layup or a shot in the corner. Makes a massive difference.
That's exactly right. So we're underway in the second period here from the E.G. Whitlam Centre. Matt McQuaid and Brad Rosen for this special exhibition game. Gasparini so impressive in that first period.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Becton gets a pick from Gasparini. He's got some range, does Mark. Fires away on that mid-range. He's short with it. Rebound to Darcy Malone in the game now.
So for our old Sydney Kings players, he is going to shoot that for sure.
Thoseby no good.
Sorry, for our Sydney Kings supporters, he reminds me, and this is Gasparini, of a young Mark Ridlin. So a great player, down low. He's one to watch in the next few years that if he doesn't go to different levels, he could be here in Australia as an import. I really like him. Great pass.
Oh, good leak out by Garlop. That's going to be goaltending. It hit the window. The players crashed to the floor down there. Looks like I think they're all right as some mass substitutions coming in as Simoneau, Sammy, I'm going to get this right, Iorio and Washington step in.
Great pass by
for the
Jaden
Eagles.
Welton there, that last one. Weldon, I should say, and Tom Garlop just finishing up on the layup.
Nelson getting a pick, goes to the rack and lays it up and in, just straight to the rack goes Saeed Nelson.
And that's what could happen in the last 6 seconds if it got there. He can do something like that. That's why it makes a difference. Here's this double high again, but this time they pass it to the high post, which they'll then get a handoff and a cross pick.
Weldon kicks it out. Thoseby wide open, in and out. So as he did
Great
in Penrith,
pass.
just doesn't quite have the shooting eye just yet. Nelson pulls up from 18 and hits it.
Well, I like this kid. He is just showing what he's got. He's had a couple of shots that he's gone in that's just got knocked out of his hands. And it wouldn't be surprised if the coach has said, righto, now it's your time, let's get going. And he's come out hard.
Yes, going to call a foul underneath there. No basket. Wave it away. And call a foul on Sam Iorio. And you're going to hear some noise in the background as the cult hero, the 7'1" youngster from Sydney's outer west, Denga Kuth, via
What a game
the South
last week.
Sudan. Yeah, hit 3 triples, 3 of 3 from 3, was 5 of 6 from the field, and just had a tremendous outing against an outstanding Oklahoma team. Jelena has been pretty impressive so far, misses that one. The offensive rebound, though, comes out to the Kings. Weldon pulls up, and that's long, and great rebound by Becton.
Yeah, good rebound.
American looking to push the pace. Here's Nelson. In
Wow.
his last two with a great dribble drive and looked like he was fouled. No call. Here comes Thoseby the other way. Thoseby 3-on-1, goes into the paint, throws it up. No good. Had some opportunities, and now that's going to turn into a 2-on-1 the other way. Step through Iorio and scores off the window. And the Eagles have cut this to 2.
I cannot believe how uncanny he looks like Anthony Drimmick. Just the way he plays that whole game. Great defense there.
Now Jelena firing, and that's short. Becton, unfortunately, Becton and Hoekstra can't save it, and that'll be Sydney Kings Invitational basketball with 14 on the shot clock.
They're the worst ones for a coach because you want to say to both players, great hustle, well done, but then you also want to say communicate, talk to each other.
Stay tuned at the half. We're going to have an interview with injured Sydney Kings captain Kevin Lisch, and making his recovery from off-season knee surgery. Now Malone, he's got that range. He's short with it. Akuth on the glass, and he's drawn the foul. So Denga Kuth, he's all of 7'1" and phenomenally long, already making an impact in this ball game. Thoseby to inbound, finds Akuth. Oh, almost Still by Nelson. So Thosby looking for the pick from McCouth. Oh, nice up fake from Weldon. He fires and hits at the shot clock buzzer.
Well, that's a great shot. The last time he had an up fake, he faded away back to the right and the shot was off. This time stepped in 1-2 with a great shot. Good finish.
Lamont fires. That's way long. Rebound Thosby. Thosby just a little late on that give and they lose it. You want to see Thosby hit that guy on the wing a bit quicker than that time, Brad.
Yeah, that's just a player not really used to bringing the ball up at that space.
Simoneau looking to go to work. Akuth talks him out of it, kicks it out. Lamont's got a look at three, another air ball. So really struggling with their outside shooting is American. Oh, look away, and again jumping in the air was Cruz, which is a no-no, and gets away with it. Luckily for him.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's just one of those things that it takes time at this level to be able to realise when you're at levels a little bit below, you know, you can get away with those things because the athleticism and the speed. But this will be really good for him because he's got the game and he's a good player.
Akuth had a wide open look there, turned, and they didn't get it to him. He's Malone powering inside and drawing the foul. He'll shoot two.
Yeah, nice little up fake there. And for American, they just need to stay down on their feet. And the biggest thing is box out. And it's no mistake that obviously the coach, the coach has got Mark Gasparini back in. And they'll look to obviously establish a down low offensive set because right now their threes are not dropping. So you want to get that ball inside and then defensively box out and get the rebound for them.
American 1 of 8 from three. They're just shooting 27% from the field, 7 of 26 at the moment.
Can only go up, Matt.
And
That's
Malone,
the positive.
That is the positive. So it's the Kings by 6, 5:52 left in the first half. Hoekstra, another three look, and that's short. Make it 1 of 9.
Well, I've just looked down at the bench and the coach has gone down and he's pulled someone to come out, and I have no doubt that will be for Hoekstra to get him out because he's just shot way too many threes.
Akuth again on the glass, gets another O board and they knock it out of bounds, so it'll be Kings basketball as Hoekstra gets dragged.
Yeah, just not a good look. When you're 1 of 8, Matt, and you have a handoff there and you're 1 step outside the three-point line and 4 seconds have gone off the shot clock, that's just not what you need right now. If you're 7 and 8, fire it, but not when you're 1 and 8.
Thosby on the dribble drive and they recover beautifully, has to kick it out. 4 on the shot clock, 3, and it's knocked away. And here's Nelson on the break. Here's Akuth looking to reject it. Wow. Nelson with a spectacular move. Up and under, reverse layup by Saeed Nelson. Wow.
What a beautiful move.
Boy, Akuth was tracking him the whole way, and Nelson just pulled out a party trick right there. The Kings looking very stagnant offensively at the moment. Malone tries the look-away pass, almost fumbled away. 1 on the shot clock, and that's a 24-second shot clock violation. So 4 minutes, very sloppy by the purple and gold, Brad.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Dan Akuth has played a lot with this team right now, and as a timeout's called, so we've got a little bit more time to speak. And Teng just not understanding the offense. He was supposed to pop and be the ball reverse on that time. So what happens is when he doesn't pop, now you've got a big is sitting out on the sideline with the ball, really doesn't have anything to do. So Darcy Malone's like, what do I do now? And that's what happened to him. So that's just time that takes for this ball program. But all in all, I mean, both teams playing well enough. You can just see Saeed Nelson that step above. That last play was just beautiful that he did. But all in all, you can see why Nelson and Gasparini are the soul of this team, no question.
Once again, for those of you watching in Sydney or New South Wales, season tickets for the Sydney Kings 2017-2018 National Basketball League season are on sale now. The Sydney Kings are leading the basketball revolution. Memberships are on sale now and start from $84. It all kicks off October the 7th at Kudos Bank Arena, so go to sydneykings.com to join. It's the revolution you will want to be a part of.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season, Matt. Had the privilege and will be calling again for Fox Sports, and I know the plans that they've got, and it's just going to be unbelievable TV, spectacular. You look at Melbourne now, they've just picked up Prather,
and by all accounts are about to pick up Casper Ware.
Yeah.
So how's that for a starting five?
Yeah, it's not
even
too
the
bad.
three.
Don't forget that other guy. What's his name? Chris Golding?
Where's 43?
That team's going to be dynamite. Oh, don't forget Dave Anderson. My goodness, what a team. But look, you know what? Kudos to them too. They do a great job down there. They recruit well, and they've done that. They've got a fantastic coach. Obviously was with Sydney assistant last year, but obviously a championship-winning coach in New Zealand. I think very much looking forward to them playing this season. That's Dean Vickerman, by the way, who I'm talking about.
In case people were unaware. Kuth sets a nice pick. It just doesn't roll to the basket, but 8 on the shot clock. Thosby jacks it. That's way off. A good rebound. Pinot into the game now.
Oh, I would like to see Thosby get that again. He just needs a couple of one to drop, and he's off.
Pinot comes to set a pick. They try the two-man game. It's knocked away. 2 on the shot clock. As Isaac Humphries steps back in.
Well, the problem I see here is you've got guys on the court that haven't played a lot with this crew, and they've brought players in because obviously their boomers and Americans aren't here. So that's why Andrew Gaze has made a good sub there. Not that anything that Deng's done wrong. He just doesn't understand the system well enough, so now they'll start to change that. Great pass.
Excellent pass by Washington, and it's laid in by Marvin Bragg.
So look for Sydney now. Now they'll start to play some sets and really run their offense because they're going to have 5 guys on the court that know their offense. Look how crisp this is now.
Humphries. He has 8, fires. That's well short. Rebound Nelson.
Does the old washing the hands on the pants thing, pretending the hands are wet because it wasn't a good shot.
Don't be casting aspersions on poor Isaac.
I'm not doing that. I did it all the time that I missed a shot.
Nelson off the pick, foul line. Jay is good. Wow, say Nelson, he's heating up. He has 10, and it ties it at 28.
He can get that any time he wants. He is just dynamite.
They get it inside. Humphries reverse layup, and there's a foul. And give him 2 at the line.
Right, I can just hear Andrew Gaze, who's called a timeout. So they'll have that timeout now. And there is no question whatsoever that he is going to be saying to them, this is what happens when you don't run offense, and this is what happens when you run offense. Let's talk the last 2 possessions, and we've got a bit of time here. So Isaac Humphries gets the ball. They run a nice cross pick. He gets it, and he takes a semi-fadeaway shot, makes nothing. The next possession, gets it in the exact same spot, but pulls through and goes to the basket and gets 2 free throws. That's what Andrew Gaze is going to be saying to his team. Isaac, that's what I need from you during the season. When you get that ball, I don't want to turn around, fade away in the corner. I want you going hard to the hoop, and that's what he'll be talking about now. Great coaching from Andrew Gaze.
It is difficult for Drewy right now. You know, it is August. You know, in this country, obviously, we're a summer sport now, so this is as deep in the off-season as it really gets.
Yeah. September's
when things start to ramp up. You've got the Blitz. You've got a whole range of pre-season games. He's got so many players, that are missing. Todd Blanchfield, we mentioned before. Blanchfield, Kadee, Brad Newley overseas. Kevin Lisch, injured. Well, not injured now. He's coming back. We'll talk to him at halftime about that. Plus, no imports to speak of whatsoever. And a bunch of kids really trying to make their way.
Well, see, this is now, Matt, I've been through all of that. I've come into this as the Sydney Kings as a rookie. August, and back then it was March for me, right, because we were playing in the winter. But August is the best time for a rookie because you're going to play, right? All the players, like when I was younger, it was the Shane Hill, the Melvin Thomases, the Bruce Boldens. They don't play this time of the year because they're getting their bodies right from the previous season and, being overseas, playing in Europe and stuff. So this is a time for young guys to show, and I thought Thosby did a fantastic job of that last week. Not so good tonight, but also another one, Isaac Humphries. This is what they should be looking at, just dominating these games. Telling the coach, as he misses his first one, telling the coach, I'm ready for the season, I'm going to demand you to play me. And that's what this time's for.
1 or 2 at the line for Isaac Humphries. He's got 9, and the Kings Invitational team leads by 1. looks like they're trying to take the ball out of Nelson's hands, and why not? Iorio tries the three, and that's short. They're three-point shooting. And by the way, the Kings are no better. They're worse. They're 0 of 9. American 1 of 10. Nice, almost a no-look pass, but a little too cute. Gasparini knocks it away. Here's Nelson, very dangerous. Looking for a screen, gets it from Gasparini. Becton tries again from deep, no good. So make it 1 of 11. And Thosby loses it. So it's the second time he's kind of fumbled a really cheap turnover away, Brad.
Yeah, just to be honest, that's just ordinary offense from American. Nelson gave the ball to the wing after coming off an on-ball, and he could have shot that jump shot. He passed it to the wing and they shot a three. And I watched Nelson react after that, and he sort of shaked his head, not in a negative, but obviously saying, can we get through something? They're getting 2, maybe 3 passes before every shot. They need to get the ball in hands and get open looks.
Washington goes around the screen. Now he's got Nelson. Nelson with a deep triple. There you go. Saeed Nelson, he's 6 of 10 from the field. He has 13, and the Eagles lead by 2. We had Trey Young last week lighting it up for Oklahoma, and this young man doing the same for American. Garlop has a look at 3. He fires and hits. Tommy Garlop says right back at you.
Well, like I said just before, Tommy had a great game last week, very high percentage in shooting, and he's playing again another wow of a game this year. And it's going to be very tough for him this season, as is everyone, to get minutes. So he's really showing his stance early.
Gasparini trying to go to work against Humphries. Hook shot off the window is good. Mark Gasparini. Just his 3rd field goal. He's got 7.
Solid. Solid move down low. Love watching that, a big man going to work.
He's got some excellent mobility at 6'10". Great pass inside from Humphries to a cutting Pinot off the window. And they take back the lead once again. They go back and forth.
They need to stay with that, the Sydney Kings. That high-low action is working well.
Nelson, who's really starting to heat up. Iorio. Becton looking to go baseline. Here's Washington. Drives straight to the rack, leaves it short, had a good opportunity and couldn't make it happen.
Great offense, though. Just missed a good open look.
Daly off the Humphrey screen. Garlop with an up fake that time and draws the foul. And that is just a veteran move by Thomas Garlop. And he's so intelligent. You know, he's had his share of critics over the years, but he just knows how to play, and he is smart.
I'm a very, very big fan of Tommy. I don't see him playing a bad game. I just never see it. He just plays always so well. As another timeout's called here by American. He just plays so well. He's a clever player. He's educated. He understands the game. Last year was probably quite tough for him. His minutes were way down. He was coming off a couple of seasons for the Sydney Kings, MVP and dominated, captained the whole thing. But then they made a lot of changes last year, brought in a lot of newcomers, and his minutes did drop off. And that's a very difficult for a player that is used to playing a lot of minutes and dominating at a club to then have to come in and play a completely different role. But you can see that his professionalism shone. And it's going to be interesting again this year, with the imports they got and the players that they've brought in. It's going to be hard, not just for him, mind you, down the board.
I guess the one question mark people are going to have about the Kings right now is the bigs.
Yeah, no question.
They should. That's the thing, right? Because you've got Isaac Humphries, who's a rookie, albeit a very highly touted rookie, as we know, out of the University of Kentucky. There's talk they could potentially bring in another big, possibly the big Indian kid, Amrapal Singh. That's being looked at possibly.
Yeah. And Matt, that's
and
great,
they've got
but that's
Perry
not
Ellis,
enough.
But that's not real. That's nowhere near enough. That's nowhere near enough.
Not in a season when you're going to come up with guys like David Anderson and bigs like that.
I want to talk to you about something. Jeff Van Groningen's got the 3rd import spot up his sleeve. At what point does he use it, if at all?
Now.
Okay.
Now, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
So, this team hasn't made the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year after being 7-1 or whatever they were at the top, and it was a downside. Kevin Lisch was probably the MVP for the first half of the season. Then he just went down, we know now, injuries, knees and things like that, and that was tough. Coming off a massive Olympic campaign as well. So, like, to me, just stack your team. You need to. And you look at Perth and you look at, they made changes. You look at Melbourne, you look at Cairns. These guys just go deep. I'm like, get the best team that you can.
Kings leading
and
by
that's
3.
why I'm not a GM.
It's a tough job. Gasparini. Washington fires, and that's way short. Rebound, Pinot.
Wow, that's what they run out of a timeout. I'm watching the coach, and he's throwing his hands in the air, and I don't blame him, as Isaac Humphries move going to the centre with the right-hand hook. He finishes that well. But the coach, that's a coach killer. You just come down after a timeout and shoot a 3 when you're, what are you, Matt?
1 of 10.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Actually, check that, 2 of 12.
That's better.
Now 2 of 13. Oh, yeah, it's a lot better. Gasparini with an air ball, rebound. But no, so 15 seconds left. Kings Invitational team will set up for the last shot. Daly looking for the screen. That double high pick once again.
Great
pass. Terrific pass. Pinot finishes. And that'll do it. It is half time here at the E.G. Whitlam Centre in Liverpool. It's the Sydney Kings Invitational team 40, the American Eagles 33. We're going to take a 3-minute break and we'll be right back with you. Stay with us. You're watching Sydney Kings basketball on ASN and the Sydney Kings Facebook page. Yeah. There we go. Welcome back to the E.G. Whitlam Centre. Once again, that score, it's the Sydney Kings Invitational Team 40, the American Eagles 33. Right now, it's my absolute pleasure to be joined by Sydney Kings captain, Australian boomer, superstar, standout at the University of St. Louis, need I go on, for two-time league MVP, NBL Defensive Player of the Year. It goes on and on.
Don't forget Kev's here as well, mate.
Hey, it's Kevin. Oh, sorry. Red Rosen. The one and only Kevin Lisch. Kevin, welcome to the coverage.
Thanks a lot. Great to be here. It's like I never left.
So I turn up Kevin's microphone a little bit here.
Can't even hear myself, which is probably a good thing.
That's probably a good thing. There we go. So, mate, first of all, I guess all fans want to know, how's the recovery coming?
Really well. I think, looking back in retrospect, it's probably a blessing in disguise. You know, it made me kind of just relax in the off-season a little bit, just focus on the rehab, and I'm feeling really good.
Kev, you look at the team that's been bought, and we were just chatting off air a little bit. Isaac's come in, and you've got, Dane Pinot and the team that they're going to be imports coming. You've got your Boomers away, you out. This is a great opportunity for these young kids. Why don't we just talk about Isaac a little bit? We were just talking about him. This is such great exercise for him to get out and run.
It really is. I mean, anytime a guy is talented at Isaac, he went to Kentucky and he played really well in there in the minutes he got, but it's invaluable to be able to play lots of minutes, gets lots of reps, make shots, miss shots, turnovers, who cares? This is what preseason is about, and it's really good for him.
There was a lot of myth last year, and I'm curious to know from a guy that had to go through it, and there was a lot of talk. You look at the Boomers, and from memory, I think there was about 5 or 6 players in the Boomers team that were NBL, and a lot of talk that they were burnt out and they were tired and things like that. Is that just ridiculous?
You know what? It is, really.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you get a little tired, but, I mean, you got to go to the Olympics and represent your country. And at the end of the day, it comes down to how your team's doing in the NBL at the time and how you're meshing as a team. And we had struggles in some areas, but I will never blame any of that on going to the Olympics. Because
is it tough mentally, though?
You know what? It is tough mentally, but it's tough mentally, to do other things.
Any day,
But it's a blessing to represent your country.
Yeah.
And even though it's early, and as Brad said, the 2 imports are yet to come in, what's the feeling in the club at the moment around the players? I mean, you've started training again, which is a real positive. But what are you seeing in terms of the culture and how the team is shaping up?
I think I'm so excited. We were pretty much a brand new team organization last year. And I think the start we've got this year, the guys we have coming in, Drewy having another season, under his belt, and just all of us meshing a bit better. I just can't wait to play.
And the big question on everyone's mind is the Sydney Kings against the Utah Jazz. I mean, what an amazing opportunity. I mean, obviously, you've had an opportunity to play against the United States, which was a phenomenal thing. But now to play against a genuine NBA club, they're going to have all their stars. They're taking this really seriously. What are your thoughts on that upcoming game? How excited are you about it?
I think as a competitor, as a player, you're just, over the moon that you're given this opportunity, this chance to play against the best in the world. And on top of that, it's great for basketball in Australia, whereas these NBA teams only get 4 exhibition games leading into their season. So they're playing their whole team. So to be given that chance, it really does validate basketball in some ways in Australia.
We spoke to the boss, Jeff Van Groningen, last week, and we said that if he needs someone to carry his bags, we're happy. He just brushed us, mate. Can you help? Can you help?
I think there's room.
Hook a couple of brothers up, will you? So, how's things with the family? Rachel looking extremely pregnant.
Looking extra large.
She looks
in a good way.
Did you say that out loud?
That's great.
Hey, she's pregnant with twins, guys. For all
that's
everyone
right.
out there.
For those
so
who don't know,
I say that. But she's doing really well, and we have 2 little ones, so we have our work cut out, and we're just so excited about what's ahead in that department.
Wow, that's just fantastic. All right, let's get on to the season now. Obviously, Prather signing with Melbourne. Teams are bolstering up. What do you think the key is for the Sydney Kings? We started well last year. Yes, we dropped off a little bit. Where are you guys focusing on? Defensive end, offensive end, legs, body? What's the main key that you see?
I think one of the biggest that's pretty obvious is rebounding.
Yeah.
Teams that win the rebounding counts usually win games. And that's a huge area for us. And then through the ups and downs of the season, because you always have them, it's just staying together as a team. And I think we're showing early, really good signs of that right now. But I think it sounds boring, but you just can't go past the defense and rebounding.
All right, well, thanks very much for your time, Kevin Lisch. Good luck in the season, Ed. Continued good luck with the recovery. That knee, please hold up. We need you.
It's feeling good. Thanks so
Good luck
much.
with your sleeps. He's got twins coming up.
I know, yeah, good luck with that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin Lisch joining us here at the E.G. Whitlam Centre, and we thank him very much for his time. So right now, we'll run through the halftime summary. Mr. Brad Rosen.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks to Kevin as well. That was great. Well, you can see that the American team, they've just upped their ante a little bit, and that's really come from their point guard. He's been great. They've been able to get it up to 32%, 40% you see there, but the three-point line's a killer for a 2 of 13. They can just get that up a little bit, they'll be fine. Sydney Kings, no better at all, but they are shooting very well from the 2-point, and that's come from points in the paint. Look down low, 28-18, that's where that 47% shootage is. A number of turnovers from the Kings, 11, that's a little bit high, and a lot of those have just come trying to push the ball too much. But overall, you can see it, 3-point line, and the percentage of shooting, that's what's really got it, points in the paint.
Isaac Humphries leads the Sydney Kings with 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the field. He's got 3 rebounds. Tommy Garlop, 3 of 3 from the field. He's got 9 points and 4 rebounds, so an outstanding return for him. Dane Pinot has been really impressive, Brad, on the inside. He's got 8 points and 4 rebounds. American University, well, only one in double figures, but what a spectacular half it was from Saeed Nelson. That incredible sort of that double clutch up and under reverse layup that he did and hit a 3, and he's been outstanding. 13 points and 5 rebounds for him. Mark Gasparini started out very strongly, but he's struggled a little since. Still has 7 points and 3 rebounds, all 3 boards on the offensive glass.
Well, we've also got a little shout out just to our right of our screen. We can't really see him here, but a very, very close family friend of both Matt and I, and the 36th overall pick in the 2017 NBA draft. Of course, none other than Jonah Bolden. He is in town tonight, and it's great to see him here. Unfortunately, his dad, who I had the pleasure of playing with and rooming with over a number of years, and also our co-commentator for a number of years, he's off to China. He's just going over there with some kids there, but it's great to have Jonah. He has signed with Maccabi Tel Aviv for the off-season. He had signed in Serbia, but Philadelphia has pushed those rights, and they have now gone to Maccabi Tel Aviv. It does look like he'll go there for one season, play that season, and just continue to dominate like he did in the Summer League, and we are just so proud of him, and I know his mum and dad are extremely proud, and his sister Cairo, and it's just such a fantastic effort for a Sydney boy and a great friend of ours in Jonah Bolden, and we look forward to seeing his career blossom under, of course, American and Sydney Kings own Brett Brown at the Philadelphia 76ers.
It's amazing how life
unbelievable
turns out, doesn't it? I mean, here he is, the son of Brett, son of Bruce. He's playing for Brett. Brett was
sitting here in the Whitlam Centre where Bruce played with the Razorbacks.
With the Razorbacks. It is just, it's incredible. And we are, as Brad said,
proud of him.
Just so proud of Jonah Bolden. So we're back underway. The second half here from the E.G. Whitlam Centre in Liverpool. Matt McQuaid and Brad Rosen here with you. As Thoseby looking for his first 3, and that's short again. Iorio checks down the boards.
I like that look. They haven't dropped. They've run a set to get him going. I had a quick chat off air with Kevin Lisch about him, and he likes his game. Forget that he hasn't dropped the shots down. He's got energy.
Nelson with a quick move. Has to kick it out, though. Iorio, 6 on the shot clock, 5, and that's well short from Simoneau.
So I'm going to be harsh on both teams now. They are shooting about 3 of 30 combined, and the first 2 shots in both teams are 3. That is not smart basketball.
Iorio. Gasparini. Looking for someone to hand it off to. Good defense by the Kings. Simoneau. 5 on the shot clock. Gasparini with that left hand and is short with that rebound. Pinot. Good D by Pinot that time.
Can probably hear Andrew Gaze coming through our mic there saying, go, go, go. He wants this team to get up and get the ante going to try and get the ball going. Great feed, great finish by Isaac Humphries.
Humphries with the first field goal of the period. He has 13, and it's out to 9. Simoneau trying to find Gasparini, but no dice. Iorio. Nelson wide open and hits the 3. Saeed Nelson.
Well,
He has 16.
We'll just watch Daly here. You can see him at the top left screen now getting the ball now. Just rolled his ankle there as he tried to play defense, making this move. Good defense there again. Going for the handoff here. Not really what you want when you've just nearly rolled your ankle.
Humphries looks inside to Pinot. 6 on the shot clock. Pinot with that left hand of his own. No good. Iorio on the glass. Oh, ahead of the pack is Washington. Good night. Easy layup. Good find.
Great find.
And it's back to 4.
Great find. And there's Daly. He just couldn't get back there on the ankle. Struggled there a little bit, and I think Andrew Gaze is going to have to make a change here. You just see someone coming off the bench now.
Daly, nice look, and an easy layup for Isaac Humphries. So Humphries now with 15 points and 3 boards in the game. Washington too easy to the rack. And knocked away by Pinot. Gets in the passing lane. Runs the floor well. Pinot straight inside. Layup is good. And the foul. What a play.
Great play.
Pinot.
And both ends as well. Very active on the defensive end. Gets the steal and gets rewarded by his guards. Gets the ball back and gets the chance for a 3-point play.
You can see why Andrew Gaze is telling his team to run, Brad, because that's been a real weakness of the Eagles that I've seen so far, their D-trans in particular.
Yeah.
It's just they haven't reacted well when the Kings are out running. Half-court defense is fine, but they've got to sprint back on the D.
It's funny, it's a great pickup, Matt, as well, and one of the things is that could also work for American. You know, you look at Saeed Nelson, he is light on the court, and if they can pick up their defense, which is not bad, get some steals, this game will be up and down and be great.
Washington.
See how everything's outside the 3-point line?
They're packing it in right now, daring him to shoot. 3 ball in the air, and it's good, finally. Simoneau knocks it down. His first basket of the game, and it's a big one. And inside, and boy, he is going to be so tough this year. And, you know, obviously the competition's going to be significantly raised once we get into the NBL side of things, but there is some, he has got a hell of a lot more talent that he really was able to show at the University of Kentucky. I mean, look at who he was playing. He's playing behind a lottery pick in Bam Adebayo, and then he had 2 superstars in Darren Fox and Malik Monk, who were taking the majority of the shots.
Right now, that's where the season's going to come from.
Yeah.
And you heard Kevin Lisch saying about rebounding. That's a key. Now, they've lost Marich, who is a big body, and I thought played really well last year. Great pass there for Saeed as well. The ball go out of baseline. But I thought that Marich played a great role for them last year, was solid in the middle. They've lost him. They've picked up Isaac. They've got an import that's not a massive 5. It's going to be a big key.
Nelson. Lamont. Now Simoneau feeling it and filling it up once again. 5 in a row for Simoneau. And it's back to 3. Cruz. A double high screen again. This time he goes left. Humphries rolls to the basket. They find him. Humphries throws it in. Well executed offense that time, Brad Rosen.
Great offense. The only thing that John Cruz needs to do as he comes off that screen, he needs to run shoulders with his offensive man so it makes them change.
Oh, they almost throw it away. 10 on the shot clock. Simoneau. Lamont turns down the 3 now from the foul line, hits it.
Well, he's been shooting that 3 all night, and that's an up fake stepping into it, and all his 3s have been shot slightly short as Andrew Gaze makes a change here, and Tommy Garlop's going to come in.
Oh, Humphries, they leave him alone. He's short with it. Big rebound.
Wow.
By the young man Nelson, here he goes. Step through off the window. Spectacular.
And that's what I'm saying. Get him on the defensive end. Get that ball and run, because he is lightning out there.
18 points for Saeed Nelson, and it's a 1-point game. Oh, they throw it up to Pinot. Looked like he walked in, got away with it. Coach Brennan can't believe it on the American bench, but...
Well, he has a right too. There was no question that was an offensive foul with a left arm pull-out.
Dane Pinot with 12 in the game now, on 6 of 8 shooting from the field. He's having a fine game. Inside to Washington. But now here's Lamont firing, and that's long this time. Offensive rebound, though. Iorio, good D, has to kick it out. Washington looking to explode, and it's knocked out of bounds by Humphreys. Gets the hand in there.
Just for our listeners as well, if you get an offensive rebound here in Australia, the clock only resets to 14 seconds. It does not go back to 24. So in that instance, American, they only had 14 seconds to get a shot clock. They've used 6 of it, 8 left in this out-of-bounds play.
Tom Garlop and Christian Jelena into the ball game. Nelson. Foul line jumper is long from Iorio, and rebound to John Cruz. And here he comes looking to push the pace. Cross-court pass. Wide open Jelena. 3 is long. And rebound Washington. The pace definitely has picked up over the last couple of minutes.
I don't like how they stop and set it up here. I love them in the open court. The three's not dropping, so get out and get open and get running.
Yeah, their half-court
Great
offense,
pass.
That's a super pass, though, inside to Gasparini.
Good call by the referee. Beautiful on-ball pick and roll, the easiest one in the book. And Tommy Garlop knew that he got beaten, so he held the man's arm. And the foul is called. That's Tommy's first.
So here's Becton. Handoff. Iorio goes behind the screen, and he's long with it. Rebound Jelena. Cruz looking inside. Humphreys comes to set a screen. Garlop. Back to Cruz. He's got a wide open look at 3, and that's short. So this Kings just terrible from the three-point line. 1 of 12 now. Oh, what a move by Saeed Nelson. Rejected by Humphreys, but he's called for the foul.
That is just a point guard that knows how to get to the rim. He literally took one dribble from the halfway there and was able to literally pick the ball up near the free throw line and lay it up with his left hand and got hit on the body. The motor on this kid, I don't remember he getting subbed out, so I don't remember him going out so far. I don't know, Matt, I don't know if you can just get that for me from the stats, but...
Hasn't.
Yeah, he's got a motor on him, this kid, hence why he played over 1,100 minutes last season.
He's got a motor and a hell of a tank too.
Yeah, doesn't he?
I mean, to play the third most minutes of any player in NCAA D1 basketball as a freshman is extraordinary, and that's extraordinary too. Great look inside, and Isaac Humphreys is just dominating. He's 9 of 13 from the field. He's got 19, and the Invitational team leads by 4.
Yeah, well, they just can't cope with him. He's sealing very well. Jaden Weldon here.
Weldon. Oh, looks to draw the foul and does. Smart play. They're going to call that foul on Saeed Nelson.
Well, that's a great play by Jaden. Gets the steal. He knew that there was an athleticism coming across as Andrew Gaze calls the timeout here, obviously wanting to talk about something.
We've been doing some shout outs, and I have to say this is a real treat and a real honour for me. One of my favourite journalists in the United States, David Aldridge, is watching this ball game.
Wow.
One of the great NBA writers. You know, he is outstanding in every way. So, David, we really hope you're enjoying the coverage. Thanks for watching, and it's great to have you on board. Real thrill for me. Boy, it's all come. I mean, I got to meet Lon Kruger, one of my heroes, a legend, last week for the University of Oklahoma. And then, Brad, what we should talk about is just quickly while we're on the subject, you and I have been lucky enough to see Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, then Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz. So we're talking about 1 and 3 in one draft, the next draft, this draft, 1 and 2. Monday night at Alexandria, the Illawarra Hawks will be playing the University of Texas, and there is a young man called Muhammad Bamba who, by all accounts, is going to be minimum top 5.
Yeah.
7 foot tall, get this, 7'9" wingspan. And I
Wow.
saw the game last night. They played against Melbourne United at Nunawading, and he's every bit
Yeah.
the prospect that you expect.
And don't forget who we saw last week from Oklahoma as well.
And Trey Young,
Trey
exactly.
Young was great.
Who, funnily enough, I mean, it's a real big dominated draft at the moment for next year. You've got Dondre Ayton, I should say, Michael Porter Jr., Luka Doncic, who's a shooting guard but a big guy, and this kid Muhammad Bamba. So in this country, we've been just so fortunate.
Well, we're just so blessed. We've got eight Australians currently playing in the NBA. We've just had Jonah Bolden drafted 36. Will play. Great move there. Unfortunately, couldn't finish it. That's the way to run an out-of-bounds play from a timeout. But we are so blessed in this country with the talent that we've got.
Humphries, they double team him, kicks it out. Garlop. Good passing around the perimeter. 3 ball on the way, and it's drained by Christian Jelena. Only the second three-pointer of the game for the Sydney Kings.
Well, if any kids are watching, that's how you play basketball. The guy got it in for the low post, and then it touched 4 more hands, so 5 players got the ball. Great move. Geez, Gasparini's playing well. 5 players touched the ball. Wide open 3 in the corner. Great offense, great teamwork from the Sydney Kings in that last possession.
Cruz looking for the screen. Who wants Jelena? Jelena looking to attack the rim. Throws it up and good. So Christian Jelena hits a 3 and now has an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Beautiful play there. You saw him come in and it actually looked like he wanted to pass it to the wing. Felt the contact, felt the whistle, threw it up and got a 3-point play. Great job.
Substitutions. Humphries sits and gets a hand from the bench, and why not? 19 points, 4 rebounds on 9 of 13 shooting. And Christian Jelena is getting hot and hits it there. So it's a 10-point lead. Biggest of the ball game for the Sydney Kings Invitational team. They put some pressure. Hostra, he's going to lose it. Double team. They almost strip it. They do. Hostra gets it back. Somehow dives on the floor. And that's going to be a violation. Kick ball. And that is the kind of defensive heat Coach Andrew Gaze is looking for.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you want from the team that is trying to play minutes this season.
Cruz. Garlop. Nice cut by Jelena. Good defense by Oreo. Throws it up. No good. And here comes American the other way.
I'm just watching Andrew Gaze there. Great move.
Beckton can't make it count, but it's going to be...
Yeah, that's going to be called on Gasparini over the back of Tommy Garlett. But I don't know if you can hear Andrew Gaze here.
I'd suggest they could. Andrew is not happy right now.
No, he's not happy on the offensive end. He wanted to play that last possession. He was calling it a number of times, and it didn't happen. Players were running out of position. And this is exactly, we talk about August, Matt. We talk about preseason. This is what it's all about. If the players can't perform here and run what Andrew wants them to run, they're not going to play during the season, and that's why he's angry. He's not looking at the defensive end. He's not worried that Tom Garlop's shooting free throws right now. He is looking at the offensive end on what he wants to get. And you can hear him in the right and look at him pointing. He's saying, this is what I want. Love the coaching. This is August and his energy. This is what Andrew Gaze. He's in his second year of his coaching for the NBL, and I think it's fantastic that he's doing this. This is exactly what they need.
Tommy Garlop is perfect from the field and from the line, and it's a 12-point lead. Hoekstra.
Good defense.
Good recovery by Jaden Weldon. Iorio down low to the very impressive Gasparini. Iorio going baseline with a reverse, but he's drawn the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, just lost him on defensive strategy there. Great move, great pass as well. And as we say, Saeed Nelson is actually sitting for the first time this game, so I'm sure it won't be long though.
We've been doing quite a few shout-outs tonight. It's this game being watched by a number of people, so we thank everyone for tuning in. Another shout-out. I know I gave him one last week, but I'll give him another one here, Mr. Liam Santamaria, the man at nbl.com.au.
What a great job they did over in the States, eh? That was outstanding. Loved watching all those things. Liam and Tommy Greer did a great job.
And David Aldridge, I'm reliably informed that that photo you took with Liam in the Summer League is his all-time favourite. I think he's got it up on his wall at home.
Did he send it to you? He has sent it to you. Oh, Liam.
You got to love it. Malone on the up fake.
Good
fires
up fake.
Foul one. No good. And knocked out of bounds by Marvin Bragg. So that'll be Sydney basketball with a reset shot clock to 14.
Well, I'll give a shout out to my dad, John. I know he's home watching tonight. He said
the great
he wanted
Mr.
to come
Rosen.
here, but he knew he could listen to us.
Oh, poor pass. Almost knocked away. And they do. They're going to get an easy layup out of this. Beckton goes up. Forget the layup. He throws it down.
Wow. Nice springs getting up there.
And it's back to 8. But this has been a period. Nice baseline move by Garlip. And it's rejected. They get up there and get a piece of it. Hoekstra. Beckton fires away, and that's a long rebound. Christian Gelina, who's having an excellent period. Weldon. Oh, well done, Garlip. They're going to actually, Garlip did that illegally. You can't believe it. Referee on the call. And I said well done, Tommy, because he was screening away. And Garlip just muttering to himself, walking past the commentary position.
Now, from the angle that I've got, I don't think he did anything wrong. He didn't go out of position. He just stopped, and yes, he opened up the lane. Now, if you move sideways, I get it. I just thought he stopped, and he has right the position. He's in front. He could do nothing wrong there. So I've got to be honest, I didn't see that one.
Oh, that's a violation. Didn't get it over the halfway line in time. That's a coach killer. But good defense, too, by the Sydney Kings Invitational team.
Well, that's the second time, and that's a great job.
Timeout has been called with the Kings Invitational team leading by 8. And really, Brad, it's probably been about the improved defensive effort by the Invitational team in this period.
Yeah, I think it's been great. I think just basically they've established themselves, and I keep saying it, it is a very hard thing for an American team, or when I say any team, any travelling team to come here and play under the Australian rules. The two things that stand out is obviously the 24-second shot clock and the refereeing. It's very difficult. So I think overall, they would be very happy. They're in this game. They're only down by 8. And you look at the way they've shot the ball, which really has been horrendous from the three-point line. They could be in, and not only in this game, up and leading very easily.
So I think one of the things, American, and we talked about this in the pre-game, Brad, is really tough year they had last year. They finished 8-22. They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2014, but I tell you, that those two kids, Syed Nelson and Gasparini, and there's quite a bit of talent. Some of these new kids coming in, there's some promising signs for American.
Oh, I like them. There's nothing I'm seeing here that's going to make me say they're not going to do anything. Pre-season, it's very early. They're showing good signs. I think coming here, and I remember we were speaking to Lon last week, the coach, and they just love as Jaden Weldon pulls through as well. Great move, and he'll go to the line here for 2. But let's like the one thing that Lon loved, to be able to get the team together and just travelling together as a team in another country. It really brings them together. So it's only going to be positive.
So young Jaden Weldon, you spoke about him last week, and he had that scholarship. And I'm guessing it was Indigenous scholarship through the great Patrick Mills.
Yeah, so he's finished his first year, and at this stage, he doesn't look like he's going to go back. He doesn't really want to go back for the next 3 years. So,
college in the States you're talking about.
Sorry, yes, I should elaborate that. And I know there's a lot of people that really want him to go back. He's got great talent. He can really play, and I've had a bit to do with him, or should I say see him out of the Sydney Club. It was a great backdoor cut then, and you just need to finish those layups. But he's got some real good talent, and hopefully he can harness that.
Gelina with some sweet handles there. Gives it up on the shot clock. Getting a big pick from Malone, who rolls to the basket. Here's Garlop. He gets a pick. Garlop fires away mid-range jumper that's short. Offensive rebound. Darcy Malone, who played with Ben Simmons at Louisiana State University, had a year with Ben, and then transferred, played his senior year at Cal State Fullerton on the west coast of the United States. He'll go to the line for 2.
I'm just going to bring up, and we talk about how Tommy's a veteran, and that last possession, it's not very noticeable, but when he uses an on-ball pick, he makes sure he rubs shoulders with his other offensive player. And what that enabled that to do is that takes his defensive player out of the play. So he was able to get a wide open look, which then in turn meant someone's got to come and help, which also gave up the offensive rebound. A simple play, but such a clever play from Tommy Garlop.
Once again, the Kings putting some heat up the floor.
Yeah, this has worked for them, Matty.
And Hostra almost loses it, and he does lose it. Garlop, and they get it back somehow. This is a messy possession. There's a foul that's been called. And out of all of that, Sam Iorio is going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, that was a little bit unlucky for Darcy Malone. He was trying to get the ball and basically just got his feet caught up, and that was what the foul was called. So he'll go to the line, and I've mentioned it a number of times. This is Anthony Drumick at the line. This is unbelievable. I've never seen a guy look so much alike.
He's doppelganger. The twin he never knew he had. Once again, freshman Sam from Allentown, Pennsylvania. We talk about it being old. It's an old Billy Joel song, Allentown.
So I'm not sure our listeners probably heard Andrew Gaze's voice, but I'm not sure if the next play he's called Horn's Post. So he's looking for a double high, but he's going to come across to the post, and then they're going to try and seal and get the ball right where they're looking there. But unfortunately, they missed Tommy Garlop. Now they go with the on ball.
Garlop on that rip through. Foul line jumper. Hits it. Line drive, Jay, by Tommy Garlop.
And that's what Andrew tried to get. He wanted Tommy down low. It didn't get it, but they got the handoff and they got Tommy the shot. Good defense.
Beckton has to kick it out. Iorio looking to go to work. Bulls his way to the basket. Leaves it short. Garlop on the boards. Cruz. 7 seconds left. 6. Kicks it out. 3 ball on the way, and that's long. No good. Offensive rebound. Malone, it's blocked by Simoneau at the buzzer. And that's the end of the third period with your score. The Sydney Kings 65, American University 56. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be back.
It's a win for the Sydney Kings. What a performance from the Sydney Kings tonight.
The Kings are ready.
The Kings are back.
The Sydney Kings.
Sydney Kings.
The Sydney Kings.
The Sydney Kings.
The Sydney Kings. This place is going on.
Welcome back to the E.G. Whitlam Centre. Once again, that scores. The Sydney Kings Invitational team 65, American University Eagles 56. Brad Rosen, take us through the three-quarter time stats.
Yeah, all in all, I think it's disappointing for American because they're down by 9, and I thought they had a really good quarter. You can see their percentage, whilst low, has gone up a lot. Not to mention that they hit a couple of threes finally, but 36% from the field, 43 from the two-point line, you're good. But you look at Sydney and the two things that we've dominated tonight, 58% from two-point line, go all the way down from third for the bottom, and look at those points in the paint. That is massive, 42 to 28, and that's where it's gone. If you also notice, the points from the bench was huge difference as well. And that's something that we mentioned earlier in the night, Matt. When we look at Oklahoma last week, they went so deep. Sydney, not as deep as them, but tonight the game's it's been reversed. So all in all, great effort by the Sydney Kings, who ended up winning that quarter. Losing that quarter, but they ended up still staying up.
The top scorers for the Kings, Isaac Humphries leading the way. He's got 19 points on 9 of 13 shooting, and has added 4 rebounds. Tommy Garlop, 13 points. He's 4 of 6 from the field, has 5 rebounds and a couple of turnovers. Dane Pinot, 6 of 8 from the field for his 12, and Christian Jelena, big quarter from him. He's got 10. American is led by Sayed Nelson, who has 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists and a couple of steals. He's been outstanding. Sam Iorio has 10 points. Gasparini, 4 of 13 from the field, and he's got 9. So, once again, season starts October the 7th. That's the NBL season for the Sydney Kings. Season tickets for the Sydney Kings 2017-2018 National Basketball League season are on sale now. the Sydney Kings are leading the basketball revolution. Memberships are on sale now and start from $84. It all kicks off 7 October at Kudos Bank Arena, so go to sydneykings.com to join. It's the revolution you will want to be a part of. And we're just about to get underway in the fourth period here, and what's been an entertaining game. Not shooting the ball all that great, but it's been terrific to watch for this near sellout crowd in Liverpool. And
Quick foul there.
Straight out of the box is
just to talk about that quarterback very quickly. It was actually won by the Sydney Kings 25-23. So a better quarter for American. They were gradually, getting back, and scoring 23 points that quarter was definitely their best.
Beckton. Marvin Bragg jacks it from 3, and that's way off.
Wow.
And it's been the story of Americans' night.
Yeah, it just surprises me, and the reason I say wow is because they're not shooting the ball so well, and they come out of timeouts, and half times is a nice move there. So timeouts, half times, quarter times, and they shoot that. Now, I'm watching a substitution here already, and Drew Lamont's going to come in, and I'm interested to see if that's going to be for who jacked that 3, and yes it is, Marvin Bragg will go out. So obviously the coach thinking exactly the same as what we're thinking as well, and thinking what was that shot for, and it's nice to see Saeed Nelson step back on the court as well.
So Thosby hasn't had his shooting eye in tonight and rattles that one home.
Well, how many times have we said that before, and they make 2 nice free throws and they might rattle in, and watch for him now to launch it from the 3-point line, because sometimes that's all a pure shooter needs.
So I was going to say, Brad, it really is something that I wanted him to do a little bit more of, is attack the rim. You know, and he's certainly got the capability of doing that, just to get yourself a cheapie, to get yourself going and in the flow. And
that's something when you look around the league, guys that are amazing at that. The guy we spoke to at halftime is probably the best, Kevin Lisch.
Oh, that's an excellent pass by Jaden Weldon, and finished off by Darcy Malone.
But yeah, you look at a Kevin Lisch and just how outstanding he is when the shot's not dropping, getting to the lane. Just unbelievable to be able to do that. And
good defense by Weldon on Nelson. He has to get rid of it. Nelson pulls up, and not that time. Oh, big offensive rebound in there, Drew Lamont, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
And there's another one. Your shot's not dropping for Drew Lamont. He hasn't had a number of shots to drop, but he goes and gets something off the offensive glass and tries to find a way.
Another substitution. Max Hoekstra takes a seat, and Washington replaces him. So another freshman is Drew Lamont, 6'8", from Plantation in Florida. Averaged 16 points and 6 boards as a high school junior. So here's Jaden Weldon.
Now, Matty, I know it's not about win or loss, for both teams, because they're in pre-season, but you want to win a game, no matter what you're doing. This next couple of minutes here for American is huge. They're down by 12, and the Sydney Kings just look like they've put a little bit of a bobble up here, and they'll go to the line for another 2, and it's just a little bit worrying American. They've turned the ball over as they're bringing it up. They're not shooting the ball well. Their offensive sets are not crisp like they have been. So just a dangerous couple of minutes here where a game could really suit out here for the Sydney Kings unless American can get the ball back, doing what they're doing. And to me, there's only one guy that's going to be able to do this on the court, because he's seen it all tonight, Saeed Nelson. He needs to get the ball in his hand, get some on-ball screens, look for his jump shot, or push the ball to the rim.
Jelena now with 11 in the ball game, so it's been an impressive debut by him. Make it 12. And dangerous times for American, as Brad pointed out. They haven't scored yet in this period, and they're down 14. Now here's Washington looking to go to work. Again, a little bit stagnant offensively. A lot of standing around off the ball. Semino. Kings, this zone is really causing havoc. Iorio tries to attack it, goes to the rake. No good, leaves it short. Oh, tapped offensive rebound to Lamont fortuitously, and they'll reset.
Yeah, see, nothing's really happening here for American now. They'll shoot that 3, and it may drop, and that's what they need.
Semino. Did they ever need that? Semino drains it. They're just 5 of 21 That's Matt's second triple of the game, and it's back to 11.
And there's that offensive rebound. We've spoken a lot about it tonight, Matt, giving up that offensive rebound.
Thoseby on the attack. Throws it up and in. That's a strong dribble drive. And Adam Thoseby scores.
Great move, and just exactly what you said a few minutes ago, Matt. Get to the hoop and get yourself a nice, easy score.
Simoneau. Nelson. And the Kings switch. They junk it up and go into a man. 4 on the shot clock. 3. They've got to get it up. Firing away. That's no good. Offensive rebound to Simoneau. They'll reset. Lamont. Iorio. Simoneau. 4 on the shot clock. 3. Nelson with a bomb. And in and out. Oh, that almost went down. Rebound Akuth.
Well, they have no inside presence at the moment, American. They're playing 5 out, and I would not be. They've got to go to a sub, and they need to bring Gasparini back in. Otherwise, they're not going to get anything. It'll be 5 out.
Getting that double high screen. Uses it, kicks it out. Jelena, corner, Trey, and in and out. Good rebound by Washington, and here come the Eagles. Trying to push the pace, but Invitational team is back. Nelson, he's the guy they need desperately to make something happen. Uses the screen from Iorio, kicks it out. Simoneau fires, and it's no good. Offensive rebound, great pass. Terrific rebound and a terrific feed. Nelson doing everything for his club, and it's back to 11. Akuth. Oh, stripped almost, but Thoseby gets it back, fires and hits, and there you go. How many times have we said it, Brad? Get yourself to the basket. Get an easy basket. Things start to flow. There it was right there for Mr. Thoseby. 3 ball. And back to 14. Washington directing traffic. Again, they're letting the shot clock go right down. 7, 6. Washington trying to force his way to the bucket. Throws it up, no good. Akuth swallows up the board. Thoseby on the attack. Nice spin move in the paint, no good. And chased down very, very well by Jelena.
Right now, you want to run that ball for Thoseby. Get him an open look. He's feeling it. He just did a spin move and it didn't go much down, but you want to be able to get that ball to him and hit that 3.
Jelena on the elbow, and that's no good, and it's all Eagles on the glass that time. So we roll under 5 minutes left in this ball game here at the E.G. Whitlam Centre in Liverpool. You can hear Andrew Gaze in our mics just screaming at his team as Nelson. Iorio. Simoneau trying to establish position down low. 2 seconds, 1. They got to fire away, and hitting right at the shot clock buzzer is Drew Lamont. His second triple of the game. He has 8. And it's back to 11, so full credit to American for hanging around. Thoseby fires on the catch, and that's short. Rebound Iorio. Here's the dangerous Nelson looking to go to work. Simoneau with a pick, and he's being held by Deng Akuth.
Well, mass substitutions coming in now. As we predicted, Gasparini is checking in as well as Stacey Beckton Jr. And for the Sydney Kings, well, Darcy Moore will check out as timeout has been called. So the Sydney Kings here just want to talk about, or American I should say, want to talk about it. And for the Sydney Kings, they'll want to push the ball and make some things happen. And that's what Andrew Gaze has been talking about as we hear him through the mic here.
What do you want to see from Isaac Humphries in the next couple of minutes? He sat quite a bit in this second half. I mean, he was dominating early, but what are your thoughts on that? You know,
Good question. My thing is right now I would run a play that gets him the ball down in the left-hand block. He likes to go back to his middle and throw that right-handed hook. That's his favourite play. That's going to be hard during the season because everyone's going to see that and then they're going to cut it off. But right now, he's unstoppable down there, and they need to go back to that. And the reason they need to go back for that for 2 reasons. One, out of all the players here tonight, he's the one that's going to play minutes for the Sydney Kings this year. I know there's Tommy and everything there, but he's the one they want to get going. So get him the ball down low and let him play. Then get him on balls and really run that through him for the next few minutes.
So 4 minutes and 12 seconds left. And this is not over yet by any stretch. And a good substitution by Coach Brennan to get Mark Gasparini in, even though he's kind of struggled in the second half. King's doing a good job restricting him. But you feel like, and that's unfortunate, that's an over and back violation. In the NCAA, you can throw it into the backcourt off an inbound, but you can't do that in FIBA rules, unfortunately. And it's one of those instances, it's tough for the kids sometimes to adjust to that.
See now, sorry if I'm the referee, I would have just said we're playing that again. Let that play. They don't know the rule, let them play.
Yeah, I agree. Humphries and reverse layup is good. Nice little two-man game with Adam Thosby.
Just what we spoke about. Get him the ball and let him go through him.
Brad Rosen, our expert analyst here on the Australian Sports Network, as Nelson fires no good, and a great rebound by Denga Kuth, who's going to be a development player for the Kings this year. Humphries.
Now they need to clear out. Oh, good pass.
Oh, terrific pass to Thosby. He has to corral it, though. I checked that. Jelena, I should have said. Now Thosby. Now Jelena. 4 on the shot clock. Up fake. Goes up. Short. And it's a fine play by Jelena. Just couldn't make it happen. Gasparini. Lamont. Iorio fires in and out. Rebound Cruz. Jelena. Akuth has a wide open look, lets it fly, and it's no good.
Yeah, tough tonight. He hasn't certainly played that game like he played last week, and the flow is unbelievable. And look at this, Saeed. So beautiful pass right outside the three-point line. Unfortunately, he misses, but he's just everywhere at the moment. Ooh.
Oh, look out. Humphries is going to jam it home. Isaac Humphries.
Well, when the ball doesn't drop, it just doesn't drop. And Isaac Humphries, he's had it tonight. And you look here, everyone runs to the ground. And what does it do? It just pops up to Isaac Humphries, who goes upstairs and plays it down.
He's 11 of 15 from the field. He's got 23 points. He had 21 against Oklahoma, 23 tonight.
Should we call him Steve Bradbury? Look at him just hanging around. Everyone falls over and he gets the ball.
But that, from a serious standpoint, Brad, you know, we did talk about this, the fact that the Kings have, you know, the issue with the big guys. It's the, well, not the issue, the question mark around the bigs and where do they stand with that going into the season.
It's the import.
Yeah.
And it's Perry Ellis.
Yep.
If he's a dominant big, they're fine. If he's not, I like Isaac Humphries. He's not enough, though. He is not enough to be able to play, you know, 40 minutes.
The Matt Knights, you talked about David Anderson. How about Nate Jarwai?
Yeah.
There's another one.
And Nana Egwu coming off the bench after him as well.
How about Daniel Johnson in Adelaide? You know, superstar.
AJ Ogilvy.
How about AJ Ogilvy in Illawarra?
It doesn't
you know?
Yeah, New Zealand, they got their bigs, you know, like it doesn't end. And like I said, that's not enough.
No.
And we saw it last year, it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So you said to me before, what would you do with that third import? I'd be going to get a big. Now, the thing that I'm not sure, and this is where, you know, Andrew Gaze has got, you know, issues that he's going to have to deal with. And when I say issues, good issues. But he's got a Brad Newley and Blanchfield there. I think Blanchfield may have to play the 4 spot a little bit. Now, that's going to be really good offensively, but defensively that could hurt them because then they're going to have to put a Isaac Humphries in the 5 that's got to try and guard those bigs, and that's where it's really going to come down to.
Lamont with a corner triple and drains it. So Drew Lamont hits a big triple, and it's back to 12. Cruz is telling Thosby to move. Looking for a Kuth, and knocked away, but done so illegally, according to the official.
Now, Matty, you're up on your players. What are you hearing about Perry Ellis?
Perry Ellis, I've seen a lot of.
Yeah.
University of Kansas. We're fortunate in this country to have ESPN, so we have a ton of college games. Played 4 years in college, wasn't drafted. Has done pretty well in his first year. Played first year in the what's now the G League. Really solid. You know, he not a superstar, but just does everything, you know, pretty well. There's a pull-up from Jelena's way off. Offensive rebound. Sneaking in there was John Cruz. and he puts it in. It's 14 to the good of the Sydney Kings Invitational
I look
team.
at Christian Glennie. He looks over at Lard Cope and says, yeah, that was a pass, coach. It was a pass.
That's what they all say. Gasparini being held very well in this second half. And almost knocked away is Cruz. And picking it up is Humphries. Nice pass. Thoseby will make that reverse layup with a left hand, and the Sydney Kings Invitational team is pulling away here. They lead by 16. That's their biggest lead of the ball game with less than 90 seconds remaining.
We'll give that to John Cruz. That was a great job by him. Diving on the floor, was able to turn it over. And Andrew Gay's just making a few extra subs here. And look, overall, I mean, 16 points is obviously, you know, an easy winning margin when you look at it, but I've been really impressed by American. They've missed a lot of open shots. You can see the players that are taking the shots. You can tell they drop during the game. You just know players, the way they're shooting the ball and the way that they're playing the game. That's shots that they take normally throughout the game. So you can tell that they would knock those down normally. So I'll be very interested to watch this team play throughout the season. And obviously, I'm been extremely impressed with Saeed Nelson and Mark Gasparini. And that's what I love when these college teams come out here. We then get the chance to watch them, and not only watch them, see them get drafted 1, 2, or 3 like we've been lucky enough the last few seasons.
Strip on the way in. Here's Thoseby. He's not shy, and he hits it. So Adam Thoseby, 4 of 14 from the field. That's his 10th point. And fourth period, strong one for the Sydney Kings. Just overpowering American in the end here. So here's some of their reserves. Kevin Brown with the ball. Pulls up, just jacks it well short. Rebound Thoseby. We'll see if they can execute a play in the half court as we roll down under 30 seconds here. Humphries. And knocked away. They get it back somehow. Thoseby kicks it out. Cruz. Thoseby. 3 ball in the air.
You just knew that was dropping, didn't you? That's what we said it before. You just get to that free throw line, get a layup, and away you go.
6 seconds left. 21-point lead. And it's rejected at the buzzer by Jaden Weldon, and that's it. It's all over. And the Sydney Kings Invitational team has come away with an 88-67 win over American University. Brad Rosen, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, great game. I keep saying it, American, very impressive. Yeah, they lose by 21 points, but they were better than that. They were right in the game for most of the at least for the 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, it dropped off, and you could just see their legs were down. They weren't running with structure, and they were just done. But overall, very impressive. Saeed Nelson, well, he's a superstar of this team. And Mark Gasparini, we saw enough to be able to say that he's got some big minutes and big-time basketball coming for him. But overall, I think Mike Brennan will be happy with the way the team played. And for the Sydney Kings, well, it's just business as usual. Andrew Gaze would have seen enough. He would be ecstatic with Isaac Humphries coming back from a game that he played last week where he struggled in the first half but was outstanding in the second. And now tonight, outstanding in 4 quarters.
Brad, I think that's the one thing I took from this is Isaac Humphries' confidence has gone to another level. I think you talked about it, that Oklahoma game. He was so nervous in the first 5 minutes, missed his first shots. I think he had 2 or 3 air balls as it was, which is unusual for him.
Yeah.
But tonight, particularly, he just looked confident.
That's why we play preseason, Matt.
That's right.
That's exactly right. And you know, Andrew Gaze should be wrapped in the way he played, and I love his confidence. He's going to be up against it this year, and that's exactly what he wants. And look, you can see a shot there. That's just great. And that's what this is all about. You know, win or lose, it's a game. And you got players, and you know, for these Americans, some of these kids may never come back to Australia again, and it's a great exercise for them, a great opportunity, and just so happy for everyone to be able to come to this great country. And you see Saeed, he's just having a little dance out there, so he's enjoying himself. and we will be able to hopefully get Mike Brennan to come in here. I think that's what we're waiting on for, Matt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Brennan just about to join us after he has the photos taken. He's going to try and find his way in this big crowd. And he's just about to join us here. Coach Mike Brennan. So, welcome to the broadcast. And what were your thoughts on that game?
It wasn't too bad. I thought we competed for as long as I can expect from our group. You know, we're very young and and they're obviously older pros. I mean, so it's a great test for us, great preparation.
Mike, we were lucky enough to watch Oklahoma play here last week, and we spoke to their coach, and he just loved getting the team together, coming over to Australia and having that core group to be able to have their preseason. How's it been for you?
It's been fantastic. I mean, everyone here has been so kind and generous and friendly, and we're having a great time so far, and it's good for our guys to spend this much time together.
Mike, last season you were 8-22, obviously a really tough season for you. You brought a hell of a lot of new talent in. I think you've got 11 newcomers. You get those 10 extra practices, which I know is huge for a coach. I mean, how big is a tour like this to kind of build that chemistry and build that camaraderie in a really new group that you have?
Yeah, no, it's a great, great experience for us. Obviously, with so many young guys, you want to get going as quickly as you can. I really like our group. I think we do have a lot of good talent, a lot of good young guys. So this gives us an idea of what each of them has to work on. So we got a lot of work to do, but I'm excited about the group.
Saeed Nelson, well, he looked great again tonight. We've obviously been watching and seeing what he can do, and tonight he showed his skills. Is that what you look to do through the season? Will it go through him?
Yeah, well, he had a terrific year last year, and I know he's going to do what he does, this year. I think he just has to continue to sort of help other guys so they can help him, which I think is the next step for his development. And he's doing a great job of it so far.
Now, have you climbed the bridge yet? That's the important question. Have you climbed the bridge?
I'll be on the ground taking pictures of everyone up there.
Don't worry, everybody gets asked that question. So you're in Sydney another couple of days. Your next game is against the Sydney Comets, which are level down. So what are you expecting from your kids in that one?
Well, hopefully we can just come out and compete and not look tired. Most of the basketball stuff we got out of the practices before we came here. So this is just seeing what you can do against a guy you don't know. And obviously experiencing a whole other country, another culture.
Well, Coach, it's been absolutely fantastic for us to have American here. The kids are conducting themselves beautifully, as we would expect. Really good luck in the NCAAs in the Patriot League, and thanks very much for your time.
Great, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Mike Brennan joining us here at the E.G. Whitlam Centre. And before we sign out, Brad, let's go through the final stats for us.
Yeah, like we said, and we've said it a number of times, and isn't it great that coaches like that can come out here and give their time? You look at the stats here, 34%. It really started very poorly for American. They were down at something like 11 and 12% at one stage. They've clawed that back. 3-pointers, 7 of 29. That's always hard when you're taking a number of shots and not dropping them. But overall, their rebound count, Sydney Kings dominated on the glass. But that's also going to come when you're got a very low percentage of shooting. It always makes it easier, and you're going to get out-rebounded because there's so many more defensive rebounds to grab. So that's not a true indication of how out-rebounded. Really, the percentage of that one showed. Points in the paint, dominated. The Sydney Kings just dominated, and that's where Isaac Humphries came in. You look at the points off the bench, but overall, really, you just look at that percentage of the shooting, and Sydney Kings should be very happy with that win.
So the final stats individually, the Kings led by Isaac Humphries, 23 points, 4 rebounds and a couple of steals. Tommy Garlop had 13. Adam Thoseby, 13, got hot late. Dane Pinot, 12. I thought he was really solid,
he was
6 of 8 from the field. Christian Jelena with 12. For American, we talked about him, Saeed Nelson. He led the way, 19 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, a couple of steals.
And can I say there, Matt, too, unselfish.
Very.
Like, he could have got 40 tonight if he really wanted to do that, and maybe that's what the team needed, but
yeah.
I'm really, really looking forward to watching him go in this season coming up.
So the other two in double figures were Sam Iorio, finished with 12, Drew Lamont, 11, Mark Gasparini, 9 points, 5 rebounds. Off to a good start. We thought he was going to have a really outstanding game. They did a great job really
they
shutting
did.
him down in that second half.
Yeah, I saw enough, though, not to worry about that.
Yeah.
He looked tired, and
Yeah,
you could see the
he
coach
did.
was saying that. His legs, shots weren't dropping, but he is solid. He's got all the moves that he can, and, well, it's onwards and upwards for them. They'll give the Comets certainly a run on Saturday
will.
night. That'll be a good game.
Definitely.
And then we're lucky enough to be back next week as well.
We will be. So, on behalf of the great Brad Rosen, the best expert commentator in the business, the man to my left, Mr. James Bowman, who does the production for all of this, and without whom none of this is possible, I'm Matt McQuaid. Thanks for joining us tonight from the E.G. Whitlam Centre. Join us next Monday at 7:30 p.m. as the Illawarra Hawks take on the University of Texas. Stay safe wherever you are. Good night.